Alright, how's everyone doing today? Today I'm going to brief you about women in combat roles in the United States Air Force. I'm going to cover some of the history of women in combat roles, reported from the Air War College research report from Maxwell Air Force Base. Then I'm going to go into my second point, the change in the policy reported by the Air Force Times and the Air Force website. Then after that, I'm going to talk about current women in the Special Operations Pipelines as reported from the Air Force Times and military.com. Now that I've told you what we're going to be talking about today, let me tell you about my first topic, which is going to be history of women in combat roles. So first, there was exclusion from all combat roles such as gunners, fighter aircraft pilots, and things of that nature for all women in the military. No position they were not supposed to hold any position on the aircraft that was engaged in combat. And then in 1993, the combat exclusions were lifted for aviation roles, and that was the policy up until 2016. Now that we've talked about the past policies, I'm going to talk about the current policy that got changed in 2000, that started being changed and implemented in 2013. The Air Force conducted multiple focus groups, assessments, and operational observations as part of the review for the implementation plan directed by the Secretary of Defense, Chuck Hagel, in June of 2013. The thorough review required to meet the directive by Hagel allowed the Air Force to review standards for all airmen in the career fields previously restricted to males only. In April of 2015, the Air Force began conducting physical evaluations to explore opening those last 6 career fields to women. At basic training, they selected 200 males and 200 females to participate in the testing evaluation of the final physical test component. And in January 1st of 2016, all battlefield airmen career fields opened up to women. Now that I've talked about the past policies and the changes of the policies, I'm going to talk about the current women in the Special Operations Pipelines. In March of 2016, it was confirmed that the first 2 women entered their respective battlefield airman pipelines. One was a pararescue trainee, the other was a tactical air control party member trainee. And 3 more women entered training. 1 combat rescue officer didn't make it through selection. 1 tactical air control party member quit with a leg injury, and another didn't even meet the entry standards after BMT. In August of 2018, I actually met a female tactical air control party officer who had made it through the pipeline and thus dawning the new era of women in combat roles. Now that I've covered all 3 of my points, let me go ahead and give you a quick summary of what we've talked about today. This morning I talked about the history of women in combat roles and exclusions for women in combat. I also covered the change in the policy and how they conducted tests for the final physical components. Finally, I covered the women who have tried out for those combat-related jobs and women currently in their respective pipelines and respected jobs now. This morning, I briefed you on the Air Force and women in combat roles. So I'd like to thank you for your time and have a great day.